Yasaklar, soruşturmalar, davalar. Her hafta bir öncekini aratıyor ülkede. Bu haftayı bu sefer de ard arda gelen konser yasaklarıyla geçirdik. İşte ülkedeki ifade özgürlüğünün 7 günlük hal ve gidişinde bizim eleğimizin üstünde kalanlar.
Hanife Yıldız, mother of Murat Yıldız, who disappeared in custody 27 years ago, was detained on charges of insulting a public official because of the speech she gave in the press statement organized by the Saturday Mothers as a part of the Week of the Missing.
Two high school students in Istanbul were detained at their schools on the charge of insulting the president for participating in the feminist night march on March 8th and chanting slogans such as "Tayyip, run, women are coming," and "Jump, jump, you are Tayyip if you don't."
The Ankara University Rectorate announced that a judicial and administrative investigation has been started on the cow feast, which has been a tradition of the Faculty of Political Sciences for nearly 90 years. After the pro-government media outlets targeted students with the allegation that religious values were insulted, the rectorate claimed that the cow prayer performed by a student in disguise of an imam during the cow festival does not comply with the principles of the faculty and university.
Kocaeli Derince municipality of the Justice and Development Party cancelled the concert of Kurdish artist Aynur Doğan, which was planned to be held on May 20th. Announcing the cancellation of the concert on its Twitter account, Derince municipality's statement said, "As a result of a detailed examination, it was determined that the event was not appropriate and it was cancelled by our municipality."
The concert to be held by Metin and Kemal Kahraman, composers and performers of folk music from Dersim, known for their Zazaki, Turkish, and Kurmanchi folk songs, was banned one day before the concert with a decree issued by the Mush government.
Greek artist Mateios Tsahouridis' concert, which was organized for the ceremony held in the city as part of Trabzonspor's championship celebrations, was removed from the program by the sports club management after the artist was targeted with racist hate speech by Victory Party chairman Ümit Özdağ and in some pro-government media outlets.
The concert of the South Korean K-pop band Mirea, organized in Ankara as a part of the Ministry of Culture and Tourism's Capital Culture Road Festival on the occasion of the 65th anniversary of the diplomatic relations between Turkey and Korea, was cancelled by the ministry after the band became the target of homophobic, hateful publications in some media outlets and social media.
The concert of the Sterka Karvan music group, known for its synthesis of Kurdish melodies and Western music forms within the Spring Festival organized at Bitlis Eren University, was cancelled by the rectorate.
The drawing, titled Masterland by Ersin Karabulut, which was exhibited in Kadıköy Gashouse Museum, Gashane, was removed from the exhibition by the management of the Cartoon Istanbul Festival after being targeted by Justice and Development Party Parliament member Rümeysa Kadak, presidential advisor Ismail Cesur, as well as by pro-government media outlets.
Kocaeli Çayırova municipality of the Justice and Development Party cancelled the contract of the theatre play of Ahmet City Theatre with the hall and thus prevented the staging of it. The play was Don Quixote, which was adapted from Cervantes's work into Kurdish.
3 LGBTQI+ activists who tried to go to the area where a press statement was organized in Eskişehir due to the May 17 International Day against homophobia, biphobia, transphobia, and interphobia were detained because they were holding a rainbow flag. The law enforcement prevented the press statement and claimed that any press statement to be held was subjected to permission by the government.
The Republican People's Party Izmir Parliament member Özcan Purçu announced that 8 journalists were summoned to testify by the prosecutor's office after covering the parliamentary questions submitted by him with the request for the Minister of National Education and the Vice President to answer it regarding the increase in the foreign student quota at 9 Eylül University. Purçu announced that the Press Advertisement Institute also requested a defense from the representatives of 8 newspapers due to the news in question.
LGBTQI+ activists and rights advocate lawyers filed a criminal complaint to the prosecutor's office regarding the leaflet titled Explaining the Illegality of the Livata Incident with Verses and Hadiths, which was distributed anonymously in Eskişehir and included a call to kill LGBTQI+. Making a statement in front of the Eskişehir courthouse, the rights defenders said the prosecutor's office must take immediate action regarding the leaflets that contain violence and death threats. We will personally follow this legal process so that the perpetrators and those who protect them are penalized.
The Constitutional Court has ruled that the deferred sentence on the charge of insulting a public official due to the banner hung on the Freedom and Solidarity Party Trabzon provincial presidency building that read, "Thief, murderer, get out, AKP," before the Justice and Development Party's Trabzon rally was a violation of freedom of expression.
The Kurdish and English song, sung by Republican People's Party member Nurhayat Altaca in support of Aynur Doğan, whose concert was banned and targeted, was written as X in the parliamentary minutes. Kayışoğlu sang Sertab Erener's song Every Way That I Can, which won the Eurovision Song Contest in 2003, and said, "We can sing this." And afterwards, she sang the Kurdish Kilam Der Hijroke and said, "We can't sing this." The songs sung in two languages were recorded in the parliamentary minutes. In this country, we can sing X, but not X. That's it.
Human Rights Association's Hakkari branch co-chair Yusuf Çobanoğlu was threatened by an unidentified person who called him from a secret number on May 15th. "We will clean up, you and people like you. We will gather all terrorist organization members like you. They reported you to us from the center. It's almost time," he said.
Journalist Seyhan Avşar announced that she was threatened because she covered the news of Barış Duyu, one of the men of the criminal organization leader Alaaddin Çakıcı, being caught with 16 kilograms of heroin, and writing in this statement that he had been working for the Turkish intelligence for many years. The news in question was broadcast on Halk TV with the headline, "Shooter for Çakıcı Caught with Heroin." Kısa Dalga Net reporter Hale Gönültaş, who reported on the footage of an ISIS member who was detained with a raid in Istanbul, threatening those who oppose Sharia with death with a knife in her hand, also announced that she had been receiving threats.
The gendarmerie intervened in the protests of those against the dismantling of electric transformers by Dicle Electric Distribution Incorporated due to the unpaid electricity bills in Haliliye district of Şanlıurfa, detaining 5 citizens with physical violence.
The Şanlıurfa governorate banned all demonstrations and events across the province for 2 days. The governorate also banned the entry of persons and vehicles coming to Urfa from the provincial borders in order to organize a protest event or to support a planned protest event.
An unidentified person or persons attacked the Labour Party district organisation in Fındıklı district of Rize. Photos of Deniz Gezmiş, Yusuf Aslan and Hüseyin İnan, posters and banners in the district building were torn off.
Bu haftanın öne çıkan ihlalleri konser yasakları oldu. Susma platformunun verilerine göre son 3 yılda onlarca Kürtçe kültür sanat etkinliği yasaklandı ve yasaklanmaya da devam ediyor. Biz gelelim haftanın adliye mesailerine.
The first hearing of the closure case filed against Tarlabaşı Community Center, which has been working to solve the social and economic problems of Tarlabaşı residents since 2006 and had been the target of smear campaigns containing ethnic discrimination and homophobic hatred, was held at the Istanbul 18th Civil Court of First Instance on the charge of opposition to law and general morality. The hearing was adjourned to November 2.
In the case, the lawyer of the Ministry of Interior claimed that the association, printing leaflets and flyers, was against the law and that it carried out educational activities without obtaining permission from the official authorities, saying the association imposed sexual identity on children by legitimizing people known as the LGBTQI+. Certain political views are imposed on families and children living in Tarlabaşı. The ministry's lawyer also called the residents of Tarlabaşı uneducated and said they are open to being influenced because they are uneducated. The lawyers of the association, on the other hand, emphasized that the case is against the freedom of association and stated that the Ministry of Interior started an audit on smear campaigns containing hate speech on social media and then made a provision in the audit report saying the Ministry of Interior assumed the role of both a prosecutor, a judge, as well as a lawyer in this process.
The lawsuit filed against journalist Nurcan Yalçın started at the Diyarbakır Fifth Assize Court on the charge of willfully aiding a terrorist organization on the grounds of the interviews she made during the curfews in Diyarbakır Sur district. The prosecutor's office requested that Yalçın be imprisoned for up to 15 years in their opinion on the merits given at the first hearing. The second hearing of the case will be held on July 5.
The lawsuit filed against 16 people who were detained during the police intervention in the Freedom for Ill Prisoners vigil to be held in front of the Yeni Bosna Forensic Medicine Institute on February 3, 2022 by the Solidarity with Prisoners initiative started at the Bakırköy 51st Criminal Court of First Instance on charges of violating the law on meetings and demonstrations number 2911. The second hearing of the case will be held on October 27th.
Korkusuz Daily writer Memduh Bayraktaroğlu announced that he was sentenced to 1 year and 20 years in prison on the charge of insulting the president. Bayraktaroğlu was on trial for his comment, "Erdoğan licked the ice cream," about the images of President Erdoğan eating ice cream with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
The lawsuit filed against 17 Mothers for Peace at the Istanbul Büyükçekmece 9th Criminal Court of First Instance on the charge of violating the law number 2911 due to the press statement they made in Esenyurt Cumhuriyet Square on May 13, 2019 to draw attention to the hunger strikes in prisons resulted in acquittal.
Istanbul 23rd Civil Court of First Instance has ruled that Birgün Daily and reported Ismail Arı pay a total of 200,000 Turkish lira in compensation in the lawsuit filed by President Erdoğan's son-in-law Selçuk Bayraktar and his brother Haluk Bayraktar for the news published in the newspaper with the headline, "TÜBİTAK is working for the son-in-law's foundation."
The compensation lawsuit filed against Mesopotamia News Agency editor Sedat Yılmaz, who prepared the news, "How are Bayraktar UAVs being sold to which country?" together with Yeni Yaşam Daily, started at Bakırköy 14 Civil Court of First Instance. Within the case, President Erdoğan's son-in-law and Bayraktar Unmanned Aerial Vehicle CTO Selçuk Bayraktar claimed that the UAVs produced to be used in wars are a source of pride for the country, as well as a compensation for 150,000 Turkish liras due to his personal rights being attacked and that his honor and reputation being damaged. The next hearing will be held on June 27th.
Previously shut down Özgür Gündem Daily's editor-in-chief Reyhan Çapan, who had been sentenced on the charge of making propaganda for a terrorist organization through the news item published in the newspaper's July 12, 2015 issue with the headline, "Retaliation Decision by the KCK," stood trial once again at the Istanbul 13th Assize Court following the reversal decree of the Court of Cassation. This time, Çapan was sentenced to 2 years and 6 months in prison on the charge of printing the statements of a terrorist organization.
The lawsuit filed against 9 people, including Etkin News Agency reporter Ali Sönmez-Kaya, Socialist Party of the Oppressed members and executives, continued at Istanbul 32nd Assize Court on the charge of terrorist organization membership. The next hearing will be held on October 11th. Within the scope of the file, Kaya was arrested in February 2018 and was released on the condition of judicial measures at the hearing held 8 months later.
The lawsuit filed against People's Democratic Party HDP co-mayor of Silvan district in Diyarbakır, Naşide Toprak, who was replaced with the trustee, continued at the Diyarbakır 8 Assize Court. After the defense statements, the court adjourned the hearing to October 4, 2022. Toprak had previously been dismissed from this office by the Ministry of Interior on March 23, 2020, and was replaced with the district governor as trustee.
The lawsuit filed against 75 people, including previously shut down Dicle news agency's Batman reporter Engin Eren, continued at the Batman Second Assize Court on charges of terrorist organization membership, aiding a terrorist organization, participating in illegal meetings or demonstrations, violating the law on military forbidden zones and security areas, use of force or threat in order to prevent a public officer from performing their duty on the grounds of the Human Shield protest organized in the rural area of Sason district in Batman in 2015. The next hearing will be held on June 3rd.
Bu haftalık da bizden bu kadar. Daha fazlası her zaman olduğu gibi internet sitemizde. Bakalım haftaya bizleri neler bekliyor.